Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My group will be presenting about our group project about a simple network. This project is from a course ITT400 and we are from class CS2592A and we are from group 4. I will introduce to you all 5 of our group members. The first one is me myself Imran Haziq bin Nuramiza. The second one Muhammad Hazim bin Muhammad Yus Hazali. The third Alif Nazrin bin Azman. The fourth one, Muhammad Ashraf bin Rabli, and the last one, Muhammad Edi Ezri bin Samsuri. These are all our 5 members that have been working for this project. We have prepared a slide that consists of 4 sections. The first one is introduction, the second one is the process of tasks in this project, the third one, network monitoring tools, and lastly, what can we conclude from this project? The first one, I will introduce to you about our project. I will explain to you about our project overview. For this project, we created a network model based upon a mid-sized company. Has 4 separate departments with different functionality and the 3 main departments that consist of human resource, accounting, and marketing. And lastly, we use a star topology that uses 1 router, 3 switches, and 1 server. Next, I will explain to you about our objective. These are all our objectives. And the first one is to improve our understanding regarding data communication and networking. Next, we will also be able to simulate a real-life implementation using Cisco Packet Tracer. Next, we will also be able to execute tasks such as sharing, check connection and IP address, and lastly, view list of stations that are available in the server or network. Lastly, we also will be able to understand the data flow and process involved in day-to-day application of networking. Next, I will also explain to you about our task delegation. For this project, we have divided it into 2 parts. The first part is the simulation and the second part is report. The first part, which is the simulation of the packet tracer, we have assigned 3 members. The first one should be Alif Nazrin, Muhammad Hazim, and Edi Ezri. And for the report, me myself, Imran Haziq, and Muhammad Ashraf. For this project, we have decided that we want to use Cisco Packet Tracer to set up the network. This is because Cisco Packet Tracer is easy to use and it is easy to learn on how to use it. And it simulates a really good implementation of how a real-life network should work.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Alif Nazrin bin Azman and I will continue the presentation. So we are now at process of tasks and I will be covering about 2.1 and 2.2. So firstly is 2.1, which is the network setup. So once we launch the Cisco Packet Tracer software, we will have to add devices and arrange them as follow. So for our group, we have 1 router, 3 switches, 1 server, and all the other devices and devices. We have PC, smartphone, and tablet. So after that, we will have to connect all the devices using copper straight-through cable, and we will have to connect all the PCs to switches and all the switches to the router. So for the smartphone and tablets, because there is an access point, so the tablet and smartphone will be connected wirelessly. So after we have connected all the devices, we will now open the router, click on the router icon, go to configuration, And we can see on the left side we have interface and we have fast Ethernet and also the Ethernet. So what we have to do now is click on the interface, and we will have to switch on the port status. So after doing that, we will now have to configure IP address for all our devices. So now for example, I now choose PC4, click on PC4, click on desktop and open the IP configuration. So now we will have this user interface, and now we will have to input the IPv4 address and also the default gateway. So we will need to do this step to all our devices, so that all our devices have an IP address. So once we are done with that, so we will now have to set up our FTP server. So now click on server, go to service and go to FTP. So now first thing is to on the service, click on, and then after that we will have to input the username and password, and also tick all the 5 boxes below that. We have write, read, delete, rename and also list. Click on all those boxes and click add. So we can see that now our username and password that we create is now on the FTP server. So this FTP server will be used to share files between PC. So after complete all those steps, so this is now our final setup looks like. So we have all the devices, and all the devices is connected using copper straight through cable, and we can also see that all the devices have their own IP address. So that's it for 2.1. So now I will continue 2.2, which is to share files between PC using command prompt. So first thing first, we have to create the files that we need to share. So now we go to PC1 and open the text editor. There we will type hello mate as the text, and then we save the file as testing0. Okay, so after that we will open the command prompt of PC1 and we will type dir command, and when we press enter, we will see that the testing0 file is in the file directory of PC1. So we will now share this file to the server before we share it into other PCs. So what we have to do now is we type FTP and we type the IP address of the server, okay, and we press enter. After that the command prompt will ask us to input our username and our password. So input those, and after login we are in the server, so we will type dir. So as we can see, the testing0 file is not in the file directory of the server. So to get that file into the server, we will type put testing0.txt and then we press enter. So the file will be copied to server, and to double check it, we will press dir command again, and we can see that the testing0 file is now in the server directory. So after that, we will share this file to other PC. So I will choose PC3. So now I will open the command prompt of PC3, and then I will input dir command. So as we can see, the text file that we want to share is not there. So what we have to do is, again, we enter FTP, and also we type the IP address of the server. So we have to put our username and our password, and again after login we will write in the command is get testing0.txt, and after that we type quit command, and after that to check the file directory, we will again enter the dir command. So as we can see that the testing0 file is now in the PC3. So the sharing files process is successful. So to double check it, we can go to the PC3 text editor, and we can press Ctrl+0, and we can see that the testing0 file is there. So when we open it, we will see the same messages that we type at PC1. So that is how we share files between PC.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Hazim bin Muhammad Yusuf Hazali. So now I will do some simulation about how to check connection between two devices using command prompt, which is in this part I will choose PC0 and PC5 to check their connectivity. So first, we need to click the PC0, click desktop, and choose command prompt. Okay, by using the pin command, we need to insert the PC5 IP address. Okay, so if the result show that the packet loss is 0%, it means that the network is connected. Same for the other devices. If the packet loss is 0%, it means that the network is connected. Okay, now 2.4. In this part, I will show how to check the IP address of the devices that are connected in your network using command prompt. Okay, to check the IP address, we need to choose any device. For example, I will choose PC2. Then, click their command prompt. We also need to type IP config and press enter. So the result will show the IP address of the device. And this is also one of the example device that use wired connection. For the wireless connection, I will choose tablet PC0 and click their command prompt. Type IP config. Then the result will show the IP address of the tablet.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Ashraf. In 2.5, I'm going to show you a simulation how to view list of stations that are connected in a network using command prompt. First thing first, what we need to do is we need to click the router 0 like this, click it. At the CLI page, we need to press enter and type show IP route. Type it like this here and press enter again. As you can see, it will show all the stations that are connected to the router. Next, in 2.6, I will show you a simulation using packet tracer how to send a message between two devices. In this simulation, I'm going to use PC0 as the sender and PC4 as the receiver. Let's go! To send a message, we need to click the Add Simple Video icon, which is the envelope icon located on the menu bar. Then, we bring our cursor and click on the PC0 and drag it to PC4, which is the receiver. Next, we click the simulation on the bottom right corner and the simulation panel will pop up above it. After that, we click the play button and the simulation will start. We can see the message which is in the blue envelope is moving from PC0 to PC4. Like this and come back to PC0. After the process ends, we can see if the message succeed or failed to send on the panel at the bottom right.
Now, so we continue to network monitoring tools. Network monitoring tools are tools that constantly track, analyze, and report the availability, health, and performance of networks, which include networking hardware, interfaces, storage devices, virtual environment, and other essential components. It can be challenging to make a decision because there are so many tools available on the network monitoring software market. And one of the best network monitoring tools is Managed Engine Optimizer, which is a network monitor that can monitor SNMP devices, switches, servers, and visualize network services. So, Managed Engine Optimizer, it has it has a real time network monitoring where There's over 2,000 network performance monitors that are built-in allow user to track vital statistics like packet loss, latency, speed, errors, and discards, as well as identify performance bottlenecks. And next, there's a physical and virtual server monitoring. Um, Next, there's a multi-level thresholds, and also there's a customizable dashboards, which it can access default dashboards or create user own dashboards by making use of 200 performance widgets available and view performance of user network at a glance. And after that, there's a one link monitoring where the monitor key metrics such as latency, jitter, RTT, and packet loss to eliminate network issues. And the last one is manage NGOP manager is an affordable and easy to set up. Okay, so we finally continue to the last part, which is conclusions. Okay, so at the end of our project, we finally able to improve our understanding related to data communication and networking, where we are also able to stimulate the real life implementation of networking by using Cisco Packet Tracer, and at the same time improve our skills on writing a report. We also managed to create network topologies and imitate modern computer networks. By using Cisco Packet Tracer, simulation will depict the network hypothetically, and the output might be the same as in the real life situation. For instance, the comprehensive findings that the project has produced before modeling a network simulation, the user must determine which topology that satisfy their requirements. Different topologies have their own advantages and disadvantages depending on the user's purpose. And as a result, when the goal is clear, the network simulation setup process will be simpler. And lastly, the network simulation taught us how to use the Cisco packet tracer to perform basic network simulations. And additionally, the project successful applications of packet tracer yield steps for message sharing between two hosts. Moreover, it facilitates the connections between numerous devices and enables the sending of messages between them. Packet tracer is capable of tracing the IP address that is connected on the network that the user is using and the stations related to the connections. Thus, all of the results indicate that having a network simulator is beneficial in order to avoid suffering significant losses in terms of the time, effort, and also money required to physically set up the network. And that's all from our group. Thank you.